Hey everyone, how are you tonight? My name is Sarah, and for those of you that do not know who I am an exercise physiologist and nutritionist, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, but I specialize in helping people find their healthy balance between exercise, nutrition, and time with their family. So I am super excited to be doing this live tonight within the group, and Natasha and I met through another app. This was months back, but she asked me to hop on here. We're back. There's connection issues, so hopefully I'm still rolling. But yes, Natasha and I met a while back, and she asked me to hop on tonight to discuss how to incorporate nutrition, exercise, and overall health and wellness into our day-to-day family life. So I am going to wait just a few seconds for people to hop on, but I know everyone is super busy. I know it is Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. People are running amok. I actually have a 10-month-old, so here I'm watching the screen. So hopefully she's a good little girl and she just, stays asleep. But so everyone's busy. For those of you catching the replay, go ahead and give me a hashtag after party. And if you are watching this live, thank you so much for hopping on. There's no one watching yet, but I know that some people hopefully will hop on. Natasha, if you see that I'm on the wrong page, because I know there's 2 different pages, let me know. Give me the heads up. Okay, Natasha's in the house. How you doing, girlfriend? So now how are you tonight? Because I need to be completely honest, it's so funny that I'm doing this video tonight because today was probably the hardest day I've had yet as a mother. She is ill and she's teething and the whole bit, so it's so funny because today I'm running around and I'm like, oh my gosh, you better fall asleep so I can do this live video for this group, and it's all about families. So anyways, I digress, but yes, I am going to hop into our subject, and that is teaching health and wellness or healthy habits from the jump, right from the get-go, okay? So like I said, I have a 10-month-old. She's my first and my only, and I have a ton of friends and family members that already have kids, and they all, when I was pregnant, they're like, you just wait, Sarah, you just wait. They're not going to want to do this. They're not going to want to do that. And, it's going to be so tough doing this, and you're not ever going to exercise again, and you're not ever going to be able to see sunshine again, and you're not going to be able to do any of this again. So, hey, Amanda, how are you? Thank you for hopping on. I'm sure every mother out there, and father too, if you guys have had the you just wait thrown at you, go ahead and give me the emoji with the hand up, because if I heard you just wait, and I'm still hearing it, you just wait, it's like, okay, I get it, but not every child is the same. I'm sure we would all agree, right? So right from the beginning, when I was pregnant, I am a healthy eater. I am a nutritionist. I love healthy foods. Yes, I splurge from time to time, but I was putting nothing but good nutrient-dense foods in my body, and I truly believe, and there are studies that prove that the foods that the pregnant woman ingests while she is pregnant, that goes straight to your child. So they start developing taste buds for the foods that you're eating. So if we're eating nothing but fast food and chips and cookies and all that crap, then, Amanda heard that. She, it's like, I'm still hearing it, girl. But if you are eating nothing but crap, your child is going to develop taste buds for loving crap and loving food that is fried and sugary and just not nutritious whatsoever. So right from the start, I think I started, my daughter's name's Presley. I think I started her on the right foot because I was eating very healthy foods. Well, when she was here, I continued with that, obviously, and I'm going to get more into the nutrition because I really want to hone into some of the things that I do as a new mom for meal prep for a little one and all that good stuff. But the overall gist of tonight, I want to give you like a few bullet points to follow, and then we want to dive a little bit more into the nutrition if we have time. So Number one, take walks. Okay, so, everyone says, oh, you're not going to get your exercise. Well, that may be true. I know everyone handles stress differently. You may not be able to get to the gym every single day or even more than once a week, but you can take walks. So I don't know. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I've been waiting for this warm weather. We finally have the warm weather. So I am out taking Presley for walks as much as I can, sometimes twice a day. At least 5 times a week, I'd say she gets out there. But taking walks as a family is so important, you guys, not only for your own sanity and well-being. It lowers cortisol levels, which keeps us in a fat burning zone, but it's good for the kids. The kids love the fresh air. They breathe it in. They sleep better that night. And, it's good for everyone. And it's family bonding time. You get out, you get to see neighbors. It's all good stuff, So you need high protein ideas for snacks and meals. I am going to hit on that, Amanda. So hopefully you can hang tight for a few minutes and then I'll get to it. Tony, thank you for hopping on. I'm here to teach you, my friend. I'm here to teach you. I'm going to do my best. So, yes, so taking walks. Number 2, exercise with your kids. Now, you guys, hopefully, if you can follow my page, I would love you to do that because I try to put little videos on there. Yes, they're cutesy, but they're also to give you ideas to do exercises with your children. Now, I know not many of you might have like a 10-month-old, but if you do have young kids, go ahead and drop how many kids you have in the comments and let me know their ages because sometimes if they're older, it's going to be easier for you. But, right now, Presley's 10 months, so it's fun because I can use her as a weight in doing like squat presses and all those. And as they get older, it's just going to be that much easier. So go ahead and tell me the ages of your kids. And Natasha, I will. It's Healthy Life Balance. So it's Sarah Garino, Healthy Life Balance because I actually just rebranded. So that's the page. And then I have a private group as well that I will share the link at the end. And that is called Find Your Balance. But we'll get to that at the end. Find Your Balance is all about how to find your own balance in this world of chaotic craziness of everything that you hear. Do this, do that, do everything, and you'll look like me. And your mind is just like all over the place because you want to look like that person. You're doing what they say and you're not looking the way that they look. And so there's just so much stuff out there, false advertisement. And so this is the real deal. But back to it. So number 1, take walks. Number 2, exercise with your family. So that can be something as simple as the food game. So the other day I had Presley in her high chair and I was feeding her Greek yogurt and I mixed some fruit in there and I'll give you guys that recipe here in a bit. But Greek yogurt is a great high. So Amanda is very high protein. You can make like a fun parfait that kids love. So I fed her, and for every bite I fed her, because kids need to slow down. They need to slow their roll when it comes to ingesting their food. Sometimes it's like the parents just want to get it done and they want to shovel. That is not good for our gut, as adults, but let alone as children. So we need to slow it down, give them a bite. So I fed her a bite and I did jump squats. I did 15 jump squats for every spoonful that I gave her, and she was cracking up. She was having the time of her life, and everyone was loving watching it because it was cute on her part. I was getting my workout in, and everyone was happy at the end. So you guys, that's what we need to learn here, that yes, your kids might have to, not get to sit in front of the television all night because they're helping mommy, or they're working out with mommy and daddy, or they're, playing, with only a few toys to watch mommy and daddy. But at the same time, mommy and daddy need to keep their sanity. Can I get a little amen? If you feel like you need to keep your sanity at times, drop amen in the comments, because tonight was one of those nights that I'm like, I need to get my sanity back because my little sister over here she was not feeling well, so she was not acting right. But Natasha, thank you. So yes, exercise with them and show them how fun exercise can be, and you can do it outside. You guys, you don't need equipment. It can just be fun, simple body weight exercises. You guys can, take a jog and try to race each other and, put a rope out there, battle ropes, play tug of war, things like that. It can be so fun as a family. And that's something, I give you little ideas on my page, so make sure to follow if you guys want some other ideas. Number 3, I have a little cheat sheet here, but swimming. You guys, swimming it's like critical. I feel like it's critical to promote swimming at a young age, because if you do not teach your little ones from the beginning that water is okay and it's not scary, and you don't get in there right from the jump and you just dunk them, then they are going to develop a fear, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good whatsoever. And when they do get older, they're going to have this fear, and they're not going to want to go to any swim pool parties or whatever you call them. They're not going to want to go on vacation. And all in all, if something's going to happen in their future, then you want them to have a strong swimming strength there. So start them young. The younger, the better. I got Presley in there. I think we took a vacation when she was 7 months, I think, and I just took her straight under. I just kept doing it. And and you guys know, whatever your reaction is, they will react in the same way. If you pull them up and you're like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you breathing? Then they're going to start crying. Okay, no, you pull them up and you say, yay, that's good. You did so good. This is fun. And that's what I did. And she was like, oh, yay, I'm having fun. So your reaction equals their reaction all day, every day when it comes to the little ones, okay? So remember that. Number 4 is eating healthy when you are pregnant, okay? Now, I know we get cravings. I know all of that. But you get cravings when you're not pregnant. So I'm kind of like a tough love one that, okay, I got cravings too. I have cravings like everyone else. It's not easier for me just because I do like healthy food. I still crave all the bad stuff. But you need to discipline yourself, and you need to have some self-control, especially when you're pregnant, you guys. Your little child is growing inside of you. And like I said, they get every bit of nutrients that you put in your body and the lack thereof too. So if you're eating nothing but fast food, it is going to be a mess from the beginning. Julia, thank you for hopping on tonight. And so eat healthy. Just please do that, because that's going to set yourself up for success instead of failure. And number 5, eating the same so feeding your young children the same as what the rest of the family is eating. So I know that so many people think that because it's a baby, they need to have baby food. They need to have Gerber baby food, and they need to eat those little puffs or whatever it is. It's nothing but processed. I hate to say the word crap over and over, but a lot of this stuff it's just processed over and over and over and over and over again. Loving the Greek yogurt. I love it too, you guys. I am actually almost all vegan, but Greek yogurt I still incorporate myself, and Presley gets Greek yogurt as well. But yes, you guys, if you can, from the beginning. Now, there is something called baby-led weaning. Now, that is what my pediatrician or Presley's pediatrician suggests. He did not want her to have any purees, which she did get purees in the beginning when she did not have teeth. But he wanted you to just, whatever you were eating for dinner, just plop it on the plate if there weren't bones and let them have at it. Finger feeding all the way, which I get it, you want to make sure that their motor skills are developing correctly and all that. But she almost choked a few too many times, if you know what I'm saying. So I nipped that in the bud. I'm like, no, we're going to puree in the very beginning. So, but everything, I started with pureed spinach, pureed green beans, zucchini. I added carrots in slowly, and then I added sweet potatoes. I wanted her to continue on the greens because I'm a greens lover. So I knew that she had already developed that palate for the greens. So I started her right from the jump. Nothing but greens. Just the first week. And everyone was messaging me, and because I was posting everything, and everyone's like, Sarah, oh my goodness, just give that little girl some apples. Give her, how many of you have had someone critique your parenting abilities? Please let me know in the comments, because although people are like, oh my gosh, you're doing a great job, they're also the first person to be like, well, I think, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try this, even though we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. And I love people, giving me their input. I do. But when it's like a critical way of approaching it is a whole nother thing. So, yes, Natasha, I'm sure with all the children that you have, I'm sure people along the road have tried to tell you how to do your thing. So, but I wanted to make sure that right from the beginning, she was getting the same things that I was eating. I was not eating a lot of sweets. I wasn't eating any sweets really. So I knew she didn't have that taste yet. So we started on all the greens, and then I incorporated, like I said, just carrots and sweet potatoes to get a little bit in her of the sweetness. And she liked that, but I never gave her straight, carrots or straight sweet potatoes. I incorporated other things with it. And then she developed teeth. She started getting teeth at 5 months. So I was able to get, start going chunkier. But I'm not kidding you guys. By 5 months, I was making her homemade oatmeal. So I would I would boil apples, dice those up, and put cinnamon in there. And then I'd throw in some organic oats. So I have right here, if you guys have never had Bob's Red Mill, they have a very good line of organic products and gluten-free. They have just about everything you can imagine, from different oat flours to they have coconut flakes, they have quinoa, they have just so many different things. So check that brand out. But if you can't get that brand, that's fine. So I would make her homemade oatmeal, and she still loves her oatmeal. So every morning Presley gets oats. It's like an apple cinnamon oatmeal. And then I started incorporating other things in too. So I made one of her favorite things is it's like a Mexican. And remember, I'm vegan. So that's the thing. Don't think that you have to go vegan because I'm going vegan. Okay, that's not what this is about. It's about continuing, teaching your child the way that you yourself eat and the way that your family eats. Now, that's all the more reason why you as a family need to stay healthy. Because if you're eating nothing but fast food, of course, you're going to feed your kid fast food. Or you may try your darndest. Okay, now I have 4 kids. I just had my 5th. I'm going to do everything in my power to teach this 5th child to eat healthy, although everyone else has developed a palate for fried food and sweet foods, and we eat nothing but junk. But I'm really going to try my hardest. And then so you have this one kid that you're cooking everything separately for. All the while you're going out for fast food, but you got to make sure that you're meal prepping for this one kid. But the 4 other kids aren't going to want to stomach that because they don't want any greens at this point, because you've already, pretty much ruined their palate. I hate to say it, but if you don't teach them from the beginning, it's going to be very hard to teach a child that has had years of fried food and sweets and all of the bad stuff. It's going to be very difficult to turn them onto whole foods, to greens, to natural organics. It really is. It really is, unfortunately. So that's why you guys have to nip it in the bud right from the beginning. But yes, so I started, her favorite thing is like a Mexican tofu enchilada casserole. I know that's like a mouthful, right? But I basically had black beans in there. I added sweet potato for her. I had tofu, and I had a little bit of, with the sauces, that was kind of something that I was a little bit worried about from the beginning. Can she have sauces? But I use the sauces sparingly in the beginning. Now, I don't know how many of you have cooked from the beginning if you had little ones, but you definitely never want to introduce more than one food at a time. So if your child has never had black beans, they've never had sweet potatoes, they've never had tofu, you don't want to just make a meal and hand it to them for the first time and say, hey, have at it, let's hope for the best, let's hope they like it. Because if they're allergic to something, you're not going to know what it is. So that is something I want to throw in there too. Make sure that you are very particular, about feeding them separate things before you make a big meal. But I made that casserole for myself, and I just diced it up, in the beginning when they have less teeth. You have to make sure everything's pretty much minced up. And I got out of purees about a month after, because, you know, I wanted her to really taste the food and kind of move it around in her mouth. And so and then as she gets older, the chunks get bigger and bigger and bigger, and she has about 7 teeth now, so she's able to chew it. But yeah, it had bell pepper in there, it had salsa in there, it had enchilada sauce, it had all this stuff. And people are like, she eats tofu? What? And I'm like, yes, she eats tofu because I eat tofu. And she eats Greek yogurt. Yes, because I eat Greek yogurt. She eats straight spinach. She eats all that stuff. So I'm not trying to like toot my daughter's horn, but I kind of am. Because she's awesome. Just like I'm sure every parent on here would try to say the same for their. If you guys think that your kids are the best in town, go ahead and give me the emoji with the hand up, because you all should. Because all of our kids are the best. They really are. And then, so before I get into like the rest of the foods that I suggest, that could be a whole nother live. I don't know how much you guys are interested in my foods that I eat and what I feed my daughter, but I'll just give you a few healthy foods that I think that are staples to have. Natasha's got her hands up. Amanda's got her hands up. Some staples to have that you as a family and your little ones can enjoy. But the last thing is that when you guys are wanting to treat yourself or your kids, okay? So again, if you eat ice cream every single night as the parents, your kids are going to see that and they're going to think that's the norm. So after dinner, we get ice cream. So if that's the way you want to live, then that's fine, but I'm on here to promote health and wellness. So I will be the first to say that that's not the way that it should be, health-wise. So I honestly suggest, now I know it's very difficult, and I know I'm kind of like a freak when it comes to this. It may change when she gets older, but I honestly feel like you should not stock your pantry and your freezer with cookies and ice cream and cake and snacks and things like that that are just accessible to your children every day. I don't think that that should be the way it is, because then they're going to develop that ability, and they're going to know, like, if I have a craving, then I'm just going to pull something from the pantry. I think it should be an event. I think that, okay, we're going to treat ourselves as a family. We're going to go to the ice cream shop tonight. Or, oh, you really are craving cake? Okay, we'll make this cake tonight as a family, and we'll enjoy it for the day, and then the next day, hopefully it's gone, and then you're done. I don't think that it should be something that you have Little Debbie's in the pantry every single week. You're restocking donuts because they're on sale. I really do not think that it should be an all day, everyday thing. And Natasha agrees. It should be an event. That way they know that it's a treat, so then they really know that it's something yummy, but they need to do something. It's like a reward. Like, okay, everyone's been good all week, or we've been cooped up in the house all week. Let's do something fun. Let's treat ourselves. Let's go out for a Sunday, something like that. Okay. So, that's that. And, I think back to things that I don't do now, and it is entirely because of how my parents treated everything when we were young. Now, my parents do not eat like I eat. My family, they're not big health advocates. They try, but they're not as, strict on everything as I am. But my parents never had pop. Nothing but water was given to me. And now at my age, I can't stand pop. Like, I can't stand any kind of soda, any kind of juice, because we didn't have it. And so water is all that I want. And I thought to myself, a couple years ago, someone wanted me to try their chili. And I'm like, chili? I've never had chili. And they're like, what? You've never had chili? I'm like, I've never had chili, because my parents never, not one time did my parents ever make chili nor talk about chili, because they just didn't like it. So they never brought it up. I never even had chili until I was in my late 20s. Now, is that not crazy? Is that shocking? Yes. No soda ever, Natasha. I mean, I really don't know. They're making some, I think Zevia is made with stevia. So they're making healthier, naturally sweetened pops now. But that's another thing to talk about. Artificial sweetener. Now, the more that I dive into the science behind artificial sweetener, it is almost as bad as straight sugar. And the reason being is because, this is a whole nother live too, but I try to teach people in my group how to stay in a fat burning zone. Okay, so it's everything hormonally going on in our body, things that we can do cardio wise, things we can do exercise wise. But another thing, so the hormones, insulin is one of those things in our body that in the presence of insulin, we're not able to burn fat. Okay, so when we have elevated insulin levels, we are going to store fat. We're going to be in a fat storage zone. Yes, we are going to stay in the fat storage zone instead of the fat burning zone if we are consuming artificial sweetener as well as straight sugar. Okay, so we need to find a natural sweetener that does not spike insulin levels. Now it's funny because artificial sweetener does not spike sugar. It doesn't spike our blood sugar, but it still spikes insulin. So that's what a lot of people don't realize. Okay, but I digress. We'll get back to this. So I showed you the rolled oats that I have, and I use those for Presley. I do steel cut oats, and I think I am developing a slight gluten intolerance. I will say. So I think I'm going to try to find, I think they have gluten-free steel cut oats. Otherwise, I might cut those out, to be honest with you. But now, flour. You guys, flour. If I can tell you one thing to do in your kitchen, toss out white flour. There's no need for it. I know if you want to like make cakes or whatever you do, I don't even know what you do with white flour. I have not had white flour. I don't know if I've ever purchased white flour. And the reason being is if you guys do not use oat flour, whole grain oat flour, it can be a complete substitution. And it is so much better for you. It's so much better for you. You're getting fiber, you're getting protein. Now, anytime that you have gluten-free anything, toss out the white flour, girl. Anytime you have gluten-free, they are removing protein, okay? So your protein's not gonna be as high in the gluten-free oat flour as the regular oat flour, okay? So that's just, keep that in mind too. And the garbanzo bean flour, okay? So as you see, I love my Bob's Red Mill. Garbanzo bean flour is a very good source of fiber, good source of protein, and I'm sure if you look at the white flour nutritional content, there's 0 protein, I'm sure, 0 fiber. On here you have 5 grams of dietary fiber, 6 grams of protein, which is huge. It's huge for flour. And you guys, garbanzo bean, it's chickpeas. People are like, oh my gosh, Sarah, you use that? That's disgusting. Beans don't taste like anything. And so when you're adding it to something like, because I make Presley these homemade spinach apple oat muffins that she loves, I have used garbanzo bean flour in there as a substitution for the oat flour. She didn't know the difference. I tasted them. I didn't know the difference. So many different types. And then right in here, there's also coconut flour. So I'm not going to pull it out because it's all, but here I have this big bag and I have all 3. And then I also have almond flour. So the thing with the coconut flour and the almond flour, they're a little bit higher on the fat contents. So they're not direct substitutions for white flour. I would say that for oat flour, but I would not say that for the others. So you have to be aware, of the nutritional content because it's not going to be a complete 1 cup to 1 cup, okay? Now, another thing I want to show you guys, and this being vegan, I have to look out for things that are not animal products that still have a high protein content because I have muscle mass that I'm trying to maintain because I like to lift my weights, right? So, what do you do with the coconut flour? You know what? The main thing that I do with the coconut flour is make protein balls. So, and I know that sounds weird, but so you can make like homemade protein bars, but I find like if you just make the balls, you just roll them into balls, I feel like they're faster, they're easier, because when you make bars, sometimes when you cut them and then you have to keep them in the freezer or the fridge, balls are a little bit easier. So I'll use coconut flour and sometimes I'll throw in like almond butter and I'll throw in some of the organic oats and some vanilla extract. I get real creative. The other day in my group I just posted something and it was everyone's like, Sarah, well, sometimes you go a little bit overboard. But I tell you what, man, that is my favorite thing to do is take healthy food and shove it into something so you hide the taste of the healthy, and it's overcompensated by the other things that taste delicious. So it was a spinach coconut protein ball. And I am not even kidding you. Yes, make the balls tonight. Okay, so the spinach balls, let me see. I keep my recipes down here, and my group would be very upset that I'm sharing this, but I don't know if I have. You guys, you should see my, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna rattle this off real quick for anyone that wants to make these. Don't tell my group, they're gonna be mad. Okay, 3/4 cup pureed spinach. Okay, so this is after you puree fresh spinach. It's gonna be 3/4 a cup. Okay, so that is pretty much if you put 3 cups of the spinach leaves and then you puree that in the, well, you basically, I don't know if you guys know how to do that. So if you take 3 cups of spinach leaves, boil it. I always put a little water, or steam it, you know, but a little water on the bottom. I always just boil it. And then once, I mean, it only takes 2 minutes. And then get the spinach soft, drain the majority of the water out. Dump the spinach in a food processor or blender, blend that stuff up. It should make about 3/4 cup pureed spinach, okay? So you wanna do that. You wanna add 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder. Now, I use a vegan powder, so my protein powder, let me see, well, actually, I have it right next to me. Okay, so you guys do not, unless you live in Columbus, Ohio, you don't have Raisin Rack, but I use just a plant-based protein. So 2 scoops of that, okay? You can use whey if you want, but whey is animal product, so I can't use that. 1/3 cup of a grated apple. I used Gala, so you need to peel a banana, or my gosh, my thoughts are all over the place, you guys. Sorry. You need to peel the apple. So a Gala apple, you can use a different kind if you want. Grate that sucker, and it's gonna be 1/3 cup. 2 tablespoons coconut oil, okay? Make sure that your coconut oil is not really hard or melted if it is. So make sure it's nice and melted. 4 tablespoons flaxseed, okay? Milled flaxseed. If you guys do not know what that looks like, let me show you. We're getting a little bit off subject, but we're just gonna go with it, okay? So milled flaxseed, it looks like it's very, very, very fine, okay? And 1/4 cup oat flour, okay? So you can use gluten-free or non-gluten-free, doesn't matter. 1/2 cup oats, again, you can use gluten-free or not gluten-free. And get the rolled oats, okay? That's gonna be a little bit better. And then a pinch of salt, and then I do 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. You can do more cinnamon. The more cinnamon, the better, in my opinion. Cinnamon is very good for you, and it tastes delicious. So I basically did that, and I just rolled them into balls, and I stuck them on parchment paper, stuck them in the fridge. You can stick them in the freezer for a little bit, and then you don't want them to be completely solid, but they're good when they're nice and cold. And that is like a refreshing non-nut butter, because I typically use like either almond butter or peanut butter in every single protein bar and ball that I make. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm sick of it. I am going to use spinach, by golly, and apples. And it turned out to be pretty darn good. So hopefully you guys got all that. Okay, so now coming to my point with the meal prep for the children and everything, I kind of jumped over that. But in here, I'm going to show you. Okay, so what I do when I am making Presley's food, when I'm prepping her stuff. So like last night, I had hibachi, vegetables, and so, I mean, she's not even 10 months old yet. So I sauteed an onion, I sauteed zucchini, sauteed broccoli, sauteed water chestnuts, bamboo shoots, and tofu. And I had a little teriyaki sauce in there, a little bit of Earth Balance butter, and I think that's pretty much it. Some vegetable broth. So once I do that, I dice it up for her. And then so you get these little silicone things when you get the baby bullet. You don't have to get the baby bullet. You can put these in ice cube trays if you still have a little one. But I freeze it so it's nice and frozen. And then I let it sit for a few minutes and then I pop them out, okay? Once I pop them out, I stick them all in this bag here, okay? And I label it, but stick it all in the bag and then I'm good to go. For the week or for 2 weeks or however long, but I like to make in bulk, right? Why not? Save yourself time. So my freezer is full of things. Like right here, this is her oatmeal. So all you have to do is pop it in the microwave when you're ready to go and you're good to go, right? So how easy is that? I have like a whole system down with that. And it's not for everyone. I know it's not for everyone, but it really makes sense. If you are cooking dinner, make double and just freeze everything for your little one. That way you don't have to like worry about it for a while. Okay, so the muffins. So the reason that I came up with the idea for the protein balls was because of the muffins that I was making Presley. Now these are frozen, but you can see right here, they're green. So again, all that's in these muffins, there's apples, banana, oat flour, oats, vanilla, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and coconut. I didn't even put coconut oil in there. And that's pretty much it. That's it. And I bake these up and she tears these apart like, spinach, I'm sorry. I added spinach in there. That was the main ingredient. So, cause I was trying to like figure out, okay, I have a lot of friends that have kids that don't eat spinach. They won't eat greens at all. Let me try to shove the spinach into these muffins. Let's see if Presley will eat it. She'll eat anything. So I gave it to all my friends and their kids were loving these muffins. So it is so crucial that you guys get creative because you never know, like you can hide stuff in things and your kids might not even know. So you don't need to be, that is something that you could kind of fib. You could kind of fib on that a little bit. It's not really like you're lying to your kids. Okay, so that is that with the protein. Yeah, but protein balls and bars, you guys, you could spend so much money on protein bars if you buy them every week. You might as well make your own, okay? So another thing that I show people, okay, Greek yogurt. Let's get to the Greek yogurt, all right? Now, I always get Chobani or Dannon, but usually I get Chobani because it's non-GMO. I get the non-fat plain, okay? You can get the flavored, but that's going to add a whole bunch of other sugars and some other stuff in there that you probably don't want. So on here, 1 cup, 22 grams of protein. That is huge, huge. 0 grams of fat, 9 carbs, 6 grams of sugar, low glycemic, you are good to go, okay? So with that, with Presley, what I do is I take, because I don't want to use any kind of sweetener at this point, and plain Greek yogurt is very tart. So I don't want to put sugar in there. I don't want to do anything like that. I myself, for a sweetener, I use stevia in the raw, but I've done a lot of studies, and because it's a natural sweetener, but because it's newer, people don't have, thank you for hopping on. So people do not have there's not a lot of studies yet with little ones with stevia. So just because of that, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to give her some stevia. So what I do, I take unsweetened applesauce, okay? Unsweetened applesauce, I'd say so I think this is 4 ounces of unsweetened applesauce to, I think, about 1.5 cups of this plain Greek yogurt. And what I did so I started her on just that. And you should have if you guys start following me, scroll my videos and look at the video of her eating Greek yogurt for the first time. It's hysterical. She's making it's so tart, but she kept wanting more. She wanted more. So as she got a little bit older, you can't really see it so much, but in there I had boiled apples. So I basically cooked apples, added some cinnamon there. So I diced the apples, added it in here. I still had the applesauce in there. But then so you add a little bit of honey. Now, I've heard that babies under a year old are not supposed to have honey. So that's the only reason why I'm not adding honey for her yet. But that is honey and cinnamon will be good. But I'm going to give you something you might want to try too. So I just added some strawberries for her. Okay, so I keep it simple for her, right? She loves it. Everything's good. But for the adults and for the older children that like to indulge with ice cream and they like ask for it and they know, something you guys need to try, please, please, please. This Greek yogurt, and you can be, do your own creative, proportions and everything, but I usually do about a cup of this because it's a serving. If you have not had this Skinny True Whip, okay, it is the most natural form of whipped topping that you're going to get. I hope wherever you guys live, it's going to be in your organic freezer section. So I hope for your benefit that you guys can find this, because this in combination with this plus adding a few drops. So you can either use a little bit of stevia on the raw. Now, Amanda, stevia on the raw is going to keep you lower glycemic, which means you're staying in the fat burning zone. Honey is natural, yes, but it's still sugar, and so it's still going to spike insulin. So stevia is going to have less of a trigger on insulin. I would do that, but what I have found lately, hold that thought, is something called Sweet Drops. Sweet Drops. So they're vanilla cream. I know this is backwards. There is vanilla cream and English toffee. You guys, it is a score big time. It's like a dropper here. So you can seriously just drop a few, whatever flavor you're in the mood for. Drop it in there, okay? So add maybe 2 tablespoons of this to 1 cup of this, a couple drops of this, and then you're gonna add crushed almonds or crushed pecans or whatever your choice of nut is, okay? But just a few, just to get a little crunch in there, and then Enjoy Life mini chocolate chips. You guys, this is incredible. I mean, I am getting so excited talking about it because it's that incredible. You need to try it, you need to try it, you need to try it. Okay, so some other things real quick. I know I'm taking a lot of your time, so we are wrapping it up here soon. If you guys are spaghetti lovers, pasta lovers, there is always a different, healthier one. So I don't know if I brought the other one out, but there's green lentil, kale, broccoli, and spinach pasta. There is just a plain green lentil pasta. There is a red lentil pasta. There is a chickpea pasta. There is edamame pasta. There is black bean pasta. You guys, there is so many options. There's so many options out there when it comes to spaghetti. You need to try them. And POW is a great brand. So look for POW. Look for any of the other ones. I don't know what brands they sell, but Superfood Green on here. Give it a try. Because especially if you're adding like a red sauce, then you're not going to taste. I mean, pasta doesn't taste like much. So might as well have protein pack. I mean, this has 15 grams of 25 grams of protein. Come on, you guys, give it a shot, give it a shot, give it a shot. Okay, and then sprouted lentils. So us vegans have all the crazy things like mung beans and lentils and all that. Quinoa is something that I give Presley as well. So, I'll make little egg muffins for her. So she pretty much is, I'm keeping her about 85% vegan because I don't want to go straight vegan when she gets into school and she's trying animal products. I don't want her body to go haywire. So she can make up her own mind when she gets older. But yeah, so quinoa is a great source of protein, fiber, all that good stuff. I have a lot of different things. And then the last thing I do want to show you guys, this is a must-have. True Lemon, strawberry lemonade, they have raspberry lemonade, they have apple orchard, they have watermelon fresca, they have so many different types, okay? But this is a natural a naturally sweetened Crystal Light, if you will. Okay, so Crystal Light has, anytime you see sucralose, aspartame, any of that artificial sweetener, get rid of it, okay? So, I kind of got a little off topic, but my secret to the arms, girl, Natasha, you have the same arms, my friend. Come on, come on, come on. But yes, it's all about finding our own balance, Natasha. It's all about finding the balance. So if any of you guys have any specific questions, I feel like I've been rambling on and on and on for a long time here. Almost 45 minutes, oh my goodness. So I'm gonna wrap it up. But yeah, hopefully you guys all have a great night. If you have any questions, let me know. But my page to follow is Sarah Guarino, Healthy Life Balance. And then I have a closed group called Find Your Balance. So if you want to know anything about that, I can send you the video that explains everything in the group. But yeah, follow me and I can give you guys some tips. Again, let me know if you have any questions and I will go back and answer them. But thank you so much, Natasha, for having me. And thank you guys for joining. If you're watching on replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll talk to you soon.